Witness Statement CSF9. Hundreds of years ago, upon the death of his father, young Arthur Pendragon stretches out his hand and draws forth the legendary sword from the stone to officially take his place as king of a poor, leaderless Britain. His armies, with the help of his chosen knights of the Round Table and the arcane talents of the great Merlin, soon establish an Arthurian kingdom embodying honor, love, and the knightly virtues. The mystical Isle of Avalon and its representative, the Lady of the Lake, validate Arthur's kingdom by providing him with Excalibur, a sword of ancient British sovereignty. Though his throne is secure, Arthur's court of Camelot is beset by troubles. His knights grow restless, fighting and wenching to sate their boredom. Sir Lancelot, his most revered knight, and Guinevere, the queen consort, are unable to renounce their secret love for one another. Arthur's half-sister, Morgan Le Fay, discovers the affair but is banished from the court, consumed with revenge and a desire to expose the queen's secret. A vision of a holy chalice inspires the knights to labor in a glorious quest, providing exploits and adventures for all who dare to seek it. In time, however, the end of the Grail quest and the return of Lancelot bring trouble back to the kingdom of Camelot. Merlin disappears, having been imprisoned by his lover and apprentice, Nimue. The adultery is exposed, fracturing the court, beginning the war between Arthur and Lancelot. Arthur leaves Camelot in the care of Mordred, son of Morgan, but the vile and treacherous knight claims both throne and queen. Arthur returns and slays Mordred, but suffers a mortal blow. Excalibur is returned to the Lady of the Lake, and Arthur's body is borne to Avalon. Some day, the last remaining knight is told, the once and future king will return to aid his people in the hour of their greatest need. At least, that is what my books tell me. In my time, centuries later, King Arthur is no more than a fairy tale. Magic is absent from the land. Massively sprawling cities are ruled by corporations with amoral concerns, paying little heed to the weakened and privatized governments. Chivalry, valor, and honor are outdated concepts that no longer have a place in the corporate order. Citizens are defined by their place in the corporate hierarchy and the power and possessions such standing brings. Persons convicted of nonviolent crimes work off their sentences for a corporate benefactor, becoming wage slaves with no possessions, housed in cramped capsule hotels. A simple citywide virtual intelligence provides net access to all, though each corporate district possesses its own complex virtual intelligence for planning, scheduling, and predicting markets, even while it monitors district traffic, corporate sabotage, and illegal freelancing over a vast network of closed-circuit vids. Recent news items contain footage of a naked scientist wandering the streets, waving a kitchen knife and ranting in a dead language. Private security quickly subdues and relocates this worker, but within hours, a freelance courier follows in a similar manner. The following day, a Lux car driver suffers a sudden onset of identity disorder and crashes his vehicle into Terminal 1. His wealth keeps him in private care and out of the public eye, as it does for the CEO of Valiant, whom shareholders claim collapsed during a fit of religious frenzy in the midst of a virtual meeting. More weeks pass, and the city shows little outward change. Listers' antics dominate the news and Zeros toil at their jobs, while the badges monitor surveillance cameras and follow up on any crimes the suits pay them to investigate. Runners carry illegal messages and sensitive items, delivering them to radical citizens who long for a return to the days of old. Hackers build the networks, manipulating data for a megacorporation paycheck while creating secret backdoors and customizations of their own. Thinkers still work day and night in heavily secured laboratories, hoping to pursue private research while appeasing the stockholders. Yet, change has come. Hacker footage of creatures and walking corpses now appears too often to be dismissed, even by the most hard-headed badges. Victims of recent mental trauma vanish from their sickbeds, only to be cited later carrying archaic weapons and speaking of honor and chivalry. In the laboratories, scientists experiment with strange new energy sources, making what was formerly impossible now quite probable indeed. Hackers tentatively probe the front lines of battle against newly living energies and virtual intelligences, and the men and women who once merely dabbled in the arcane arts are amazed to find that their spells actually work. Why did it take me so long to see what was happening around me? Perhaps I was blind, too secure in my warm bed, cheap fatty foods, and free net access. Years ago, when journos were true reporters who did more than forward corporate scrubbed newspeak to the public, questions might have been asked, facts correlated, and secrets revealed. Perhaps I would have learned the truth more quickly. But perhaps not. After all, who would have believed that the other dimensional energies of chaos, what we call magic, have returned to the world? I still find it incredible, though I believe it is true. Magic is no mere fiction. It simply faded from the world as we humans thrived, and now returns to a world unprepared. The scientists and their corporate masters, unwitting servants of order, claim these manifestations are fluctuation of energy caused by cosmic radiation particles hitting weak areas of the upper atmosphere, creating sporadic energy displays and, in rare cases, mutations. Though most of us just call it the flux. Sadly, even those who witness magic firsthand may be too easily persuaded, or bought, to believe in a rational explanation. How deeply did I question the flux when it brought my wife back to me, seeming whole but for her need of frequent blood infusions? I gladly accepted the pseudoscience excuse she offered, and blinded myself to the reality until it was too late. They came last night to take her away. Surprisingly gentle, some of them, though they had the authority of the watch. In battle, however, they betray their nature, wielding the flux as easily as their swords. She fought, you see, and I hoped she would prevail. But it was not to be. In the end, all they could do for me was tell me the truth. About the king, and the flux, and their role in this shadow war. It was cold comfort, but at least it was something. Perhaps it will be enough. Hi, I'm Nick from the Role-Playing Guys. I will be the GM for Season 4, in which we'll be playing a little-known game called Corporia. I just read some flavor text from the core rulebook of that game, which was written by Mark Plemons and published by Brabblemark Press. I can't tell you how long I've been wanting to play a campaign in this fascinating game. I thought I'd take this time to give a little glimpse into the setting of our next season. As written, Corporia takes place in a corporate-ruled metropolis in the future, given the generic name of The City. But, as the rulebook says, it could really take place in any city we want, real or imagined. So for this season, I've chosen to set the city in a place that the players are quite familiar with. Northern Utah. Specifically, the area covered by Ogden, Salt Lake City, and Provo. Each of us have either lived in this area or gone to college there, so I think it would be a lot of fun to make this the setting of our Corporia playthrough. By the 22nd century, the population in this area has become so dense, and so many corporations have settled into the area, that it has become one huge connected metropolitan area, with each individual city or town becoming a mere district in this supercity, which is now known as the Utah Megalopolis. In addition, the landscape has changed. Most notable is the fact that the Great Salt Lake has dried up and become part of the ever-expanding Great Salt Flats. Also, the mountains look different. Not so much the shape of the mountains or the surface of them, but rather the mountains have been used as billboards for companies who are willing to pay the price to have their logo shining on the mountainsides. Now, a disclaimer. Because I will be mentioning real-world names, places, and companies in this setting, it must be clarified that no endorsement or criticism is ever intended in any way towards anyone. My intention is simply to create a believable and fun futuristic setting for a tabletop RPG campaign in a place that is familiar to all the players. Beyond making this a fun and interesting adventure to play in, there is no agenda at work here, whether political, social, religious, or otherwise. Feel free to reach out to us on social media or our website, rollpg13.com, if you have any questions or concerns. Again, that's rollpg13.com. Alright, I think that wraps up this little teaser. I hope you are looking forward to Season 4 as much as we are. We'll see you in the next adventure.